Hey guys, it's me, Jess, or So It Is True. I'm making this video today because today I watched a show and it kind of gave me a wow moment. And so the reason, I titled this video Gastric Bypass Failure for a reason. You guys will find out why through the duration of this video. So, with that being said, you guys know I'm 3 years, 2 months post-op gastric bypass. I've lost over 240 or so pounds. I've gained a little, I've lost a little, I've gained a little, I lost a little. I've had a lot of complications, so many I don't even want to name them all out. And I'm still right about 200. People say that I look like I'm in my 180, but 160 maybe, but no, I'm pretty damn close to 200 pounds. If not, I'm 199, 200, 201, 202. That's right about where I am. I've been there for the last, 4 months. Since the fall of the accident, I had gained and got up to 220 pounds. I got myself back down to where I am now, and I have so much further to go, at least a good 40 pounds. So with that being said, okay, here's the deal. I watched this show on Discovery Health, Melissa's story, 600-pound woman Melissa's story, and I bawled my eyes out. I cried, and I sobbed, and I laughed, and I cried. I got angry. The show made me see things a little bit different, so it caused like a wow moment for me. I am not what you want to say. I'm going to have gastric bypass. I want to do what she did. I had gastric bypass. I want to do as good as she's done. I don't want to be that person. And I hope that I'm not that person for you, because for me, it's kind of like when I watched that video and that show for a whole 2 hours, I learned her whole life. And it told about her loss. It told about her gain. It told about her getting so sick from trying to lose weight and going back into the hospital. It talked about complications with plastic surgeries. It talked about her plastic surgeries and the multiple that she had to do. It talked about her getting pregnant and losing the baby and having to go in and get a VF, whatever they're called, where they take out the baby, and then to get pregnant again, and then she finds out while she was actually in the operating room having gastric bypass, her husband was talking to another woman, and he was doing that repeatedly throughout the whole point of her relationship with him for like 10 years. And after the baby was born, 2 months after, she found out that he had been talking to somebody else again and while she was in there having gastric bypass surgery, he was talking to another woman to meet up with her to have sex. And when I watched that video, I thought, that woman, if she only could open her eyes that this man had been talking to other women, she only found out about 2 or whatever. Maybe she found out about 10, was too embarrassed to say it on national television. But if he did it then, he's going to do it now. And if she lost all that weight 4 years later, he was still talking to somebody else, he's going to keep doing it. And I was watching that, and I got angry. And then I started thinking, you know what? I am not what I want people to say. Jessica on YouTube, that's what I want to do. I want to be like her. She's done so great. I want to do what she's done. I don't want to be that person. And I know that I am that for some people. And that's not being conceited. It's just what it is. And I don't want to be that person for you. I want you to know that I've fucked up. Pardon my language, but I've made mistakes. And I have failed myself in so many different ways. And gastric bypass is not let me have gastric bypass a year later, I'm good to go, I've lost all this weight. Even 3 years later, I've lost all this weight, I'm maintaining all is well in the world, and I'm doing great, everything's perfect, I can put gastric bypass back here. It's not part of my life anymore. And that's not the case. Gastric bypass is, here's Jessica, here's gastric bypass. This is me for the rest of my effing life. I cannot shake gastric bypass. It is who I am now. The stomach inside me is this big for the rest of my life. It takes so much courage of my brain to think, like close my eyes and think of inside of me, I've got a stomach that I caused to be so big that they had to cut it to the point where it was not even a tablespoon. And then they closed it up and readjusted, pulled up my intestines, reorganized my intestines, pushed aside this huge stomach to let it float around inside of me because it was too dangerous to take it out. And now, for the rest of my life, I will have complications with vitamins. I will have complications with the way that my body absorbs things. I'll have complications with, if something happens to me, I have to make damn sure that the surgeon or the ER doctor or whoever knows I had gastric bypass. Do not push anything into my stomach, like breathing tubes and stuff like that. So many things. That's me for the rest of my life. I will always feel like a failure. Always. Why? Because you will always gain a little bit of weight. You'll always lose, if you're focused, of course, you'll always lose that weight again, but you'll always gain it back. And it's always like, should I drink this? Or should I get a cup of coffee? Or what if I have both? Do they, you know what I mean? Like, for the rest of my life, I will be Jessica Burbank Rogers, the gastric bypass patient. My body for the rest of my life will be deformed because of the choice. Oh, my back. Because of the choice that I made, I will always look like this. This is Jessica Burbank Rogers. This is what I've become. This is what happens when you allow yourself to give in to addiction, an addiction that is the hardest addiction to ever break. And it's like you have to eat. It's like being addicted to air. You've got to breathe. Well, how much air can I breathe without being addicted to it? I mean, how much air can I breathe without it being a problem? How much food should I eat to make myself healthy so I can be healthy to be able to do what I should do as a person on this planet without it being a problem? What types of food should I eat that's okay so I don't get fat again to have to deal with what I'm dealing with now? The emotional problems, the hate I have towards myself. This is what happens when you allow yourself to get so big, to have gastric bypass, to want so much to get rid of what you're looking at every day, the skin hanging every day, struggling with the thought, what is this hanging from my body? What have I done to myself that I would do anything to get it cut off? Even allow myself to lay on a table with a plastic surgeon who is not familiar with reconstructive surgery for a gastric bypass patient, having so much hanging skin and so much hate for myself that I don't do enough research. Don't wait the extra 6 months to have the surgeon who should do this type of surgery for gastric bypass patient. I was so hurt and so angry at myself that I allowed myself to just put all of my faith into the hands of somebody who did not know what they should do with gastric bypass patients' hanging skin. And I will forever look like this. I guess the reason why I'm telling you this, the reason why I'm telling you this and why I'm showing you this is because the wow movement, the wow moment that I had today, it was a lot of things. It was a lot of things. First and foremost, it made me think, you know what? I don't want these people that are watching my videos to think that I'm a perfect, do everything I should do, because nobody's that way. Okay? If you watch people, like, there's a few people that I had on YouTube that on Facebook that I just deleted because they're on there and they're showing themselves exercise and how perfect they are and how, to be honest with you, they didn't have gastric bypass, first of all. They had lap band because they were like 50 pounds overweight. So here's the difference for me. It almost makes me angry that people are following them and believe that what they're doing, which maybe they have, maybe they're absolutely perfect. And they'll go in there when they're starving and get a slice of ham and a slice of cheese, roll it up, and walk away from the refrigerator. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their personal life. But I can tell you this. I don't want people to look at my videos and think for a second that I am exactly what you should go for. I don't want you to think that I am this perfect, I do everything right. Because I don't. At all. I don't exercise. Well, I didn't before my fall. Since my fall, I can't really do much besides aquatherapy. But before it, I didn't exercise. I didn't stick to my shakes and stuff like that the way that I should have because I was so sick. I couldn't get it down in my system anyway. Okay? So when you look at my weight loss and you say, oh man, she lost 200 pounds in a year, I'm going to do that. The only reason why I lost so much weight in that time frame was because of the fact I was so sick that I had to be hospitalized over 27 times in the first year of my surgery, after my surgery rather. Okay? That's why. It has nothing to do with me doing the right thing. I am sick every single day. Why am I sick every single day? Because I choose to eat things I shouldn't eat. Like, I could sit down with a can of Pringles and eat a whole can of Pringles within maybe a 2-hour period. How do I know that? How do I know that? Because I've done it. How did I gain 30 pounds in 2 months after my fall? Not because I was hurt. Not because I couldn't exercise, because I didn't exercise before I fell. Why did I gain that weight back? Because I allowed the depression because I was being treated like crap because I fell and had an accident. I was treated like crap, and for the last year, and I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I can't lie to you guys because to me, this is my diary. This is how I get out my anger and my hatred, and I want to teach people because I wish that somebody was there to teach me. Since my fall, it's been almost a year. Almost a year, and I was 2 years post-op gastric bypass to the last year of being post-op gastric bypass. I fell. It was an accident on flooring that should have been replaced, and it since has been. But I fell and got hurt. And I was in so much pain that within the first 2 months, even though I wasn't working during that time, there was a lot going on with it, and I felt like I was going to lose my job. It was a month after Bo and I got married, and I was in so much pain, we couldn't be with one another. We were a month post being married. All this stuff happened, and I was so depressed that the first 2 months, I probably had, at the one time I had 4, but almost every day I had at least 2 frap shakes. They were sugar-free, but they were loaded with milk, and they had enough sugar in them that I shouldn't have been drinking them. Frappes from Starbucks. One day, it only happened once, but one day I had 5 of them. Once I realized about 2 months post that I was doing the wrong thing, that I needed to focus more on that and get rid of that weight. I had gained 30 pounds. And I stopped doing it. I stopped drinking those. And I lost most of that weight. Most of the 30 pounds that I had gained in 2 months. But then I got sent back to work. The way that I was treated, and I don't care if this is wrong, and I'm sure I'll get in trouble for saying this, but I really don't care. The way that I was treated inside of my job was horrific. Since gastric bypass, I've got such bad bowels that I go to the bathroom probably a good, when I was at my worst, right after Bill and I got married and I started going back to work is when it got even worse. And I was having to go to the bathrooms upwards 30 times a day. Let me just turn this down real quick. So, when I was back at work before my fall, I had to be able to go to the bathroom, and it was difficult, but I wasn't treated any different than anybody else. When I returned back to work after my fall, there was a few times where things were said in front of other people that embarrassed me. Okay, and I was hurt. I was being embarrassed at work. I felt like they didn't want me there. I felt like I wasn't, like, Bo did his best to treat me well, but I didn't even want to be home. I was so depressed. And it's been like that all the way up till now. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie anymore. While I was watching the 600-Pound Woman show, I had a can of Pringles, not a small one, big one. The show is 2 hours long, and my pouch is only this big. I had a big coffee, loaded with cream, black cocoa. I had a big thing of Pringles, and I had a pastry. I didn't go to work today because I was hurting so bad when I woke up, and I was so uncomfortable, and I just couldn't stand the thought of my job. Like, I can't tell you guys what I do, and if you know where I work, please don't post below. But at my job, there's no way for me to be comfortable. Like, right now, I'm sitting, I have a heating pad on my back, I've got a pillow behind my back, and I'm trying my best to stay comfortable, which I'm probably going to have to take a quick break here in a second. And, but in 2 hours, I ate that whole can of Pringles. And I drank that whole coffee. It was like the extra large Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And I ate the bear claw thing, the pastry, it's like this big. And my stomach is still this big again. But how did I get it all in me? Because you can do that when you eat and drink at the same time. I felt like I was sabotaging myself because I was so miserable, and I have felt that way this whole year. You know, people don't understand. That's what I've been trying to get these doctors to understand. Like, yeah, I had complications, like problems before, like my bowel problems and stuff before. And I had to go to the bathroom constantly, and it's embarrassing. But like, they don't understand. I don't want to be this way. Okay? I've worked so hard to lose the weight. I've worked so hard. I've given up so much. And they think that I'm faking. They think that I'm like playing it off like it's worse than what it is. Are you kidding me? You have no idea. They don't have an idea in their. They can't grasp that I almost died from this. I almost died from this surgery. I almost died to try to be thin. And they think for a second that I would want to be this way? Out of their effing minds. It brings anger inside of me. Like, no, they have no idea. None. In any event, the reason why I'm making this video is because I don't want you guys to think that I'm like this great, everybody should do what Jessica does, because that's not the case. And I love to educate people because I know so much. It's almost like being in a relationship with somebody, like you watching your friend be in a relationship, you can give them the best advice. But when you're in that relationship and they're trying to give you advice, they have no clue what they're talking about, you know? But, I mean, I have a lot more weight to lose. And if I don't stop the choices that I'm making because of my depression, I'm going to end up back where I was. And so failure, yeah. I mean, everybody that has had gastric bypass is a failure in one way or another. Not that you're a failure. That's not what I'm trying to say. Not that you're a failure. That you feel as if you have failed. Or you will make choices that are not the right choice. Everybody does that. Everybody. Now the problem and where it lays, kind of like 2 months after my surgery, I realized what I was doing wrong and I stopped myself, and thank God for that. That's the difference. That's what makes you not a failure. If you can stop yourself and you say, oh my God, I ate those Pringles, you're not a failure. Gastric bypass did what it was supposed to do. Kind of like me making this video right now. I'm like so hurt by myself and the choices that I made. And I'm so hurt because I know what I've done is wrong. The difference though, knowing when you've done wrong and allowing yourself to cry and say I made a mistake and I'm messing up again, to catch it and to say it's time to start fresh, not tomorrow, not next Monday, right now. This right here has no cream in it and it's black with Splenda. Time to make the change now. Let me take a look at something really quick. I might have to take a quick break, you guys, for a second. I'll be right back. I need to get myself together. So upset with myself. Alright, y'all. Give me a quick second. I need a second to get myself together, okay? What time is it? 22 minutes? I love the fact that you guys watch my videos, because it really gives me somebody to answer to when I fucked up. Her mowing. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh my God. Ah! I am gonna light up a cigarette. I know that's bad, but I'm kind of worked up. My anxiety is pretty high, and I feel like that's what will help. Coffee tastes like poop. Hey, Meaty, you give loving? You give the world loving? You kisses? Oh, thank you. Oh, God, thank you. Alright, pretty boy, get off me. I don't want you to smoke this or breathe in this. Okay. I know it's gross. I fucking hate it. Pardon my language. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's why I was really upset. I hate that I can do that. So, back on track with things. Earrings look pretty. So the reason why I'm making this video again is because of the wow moment. And watching that video with her, it kind of made me think, I'm not done. I'm 3 years post-op. It'll be with me for the rest of my life. So even if it takes me 10 years to lose all of the weight and get down right at goal, then that's what it takes. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. You've made some mistakes. Everybody's made mistakes. It doesn't matter what people tell you on how perfect everything went for them. Fuck that. They've eaten a candy bar. They've eaten half a candy bar. Or me, I can eat 7 Skittles. I can't eat 8. You know, but there's been days where I've had a bag of Skittles in my purse and I ate them all day long until they were gone. You know, that's the thing. It's knowing that you've made a mistake. You can still make that pouch work for you. You can't. It's still there. It's still there. Regardless of what anybody tells you. If they tell you that your stomach's grown out, it's not as big as what it was. And if it is, there's options. You know, they have that pouch test diet, and I was telling people about my regroup diet. And the regroup diet, what I think that is a phenomenal tool. And I did it when I was a year post-op, just so I knew I was back on track. And the regroup diet, like I'm telling you about, I had it posted on my website, and I had some people give me flack about it, so I took it down. All it is I posted on there the exact diet that it was that my surgeon, who was an amazing man, gave me to do as soon after I got out of surgery. And that is day 1, clear diet, water, coffee, tea, that kind of thing. Steer clear of the coffee. Coffee's not all that great, but whatever. It's a clear liquid. So clear liquids day 1 for, I believe it's day 2, you start on some milk products. Or you can do clear protein products, like Isopure has clear protein. And for a whole 2 weeks, liquid protein diet. After that 2 weeks, mush food for 2 weeks. And then, or you can make it even longer. So within a month's time, you should be back to your normal diet. Or you can progress and make it 2 months. You can do it. You've done it before. And that's the thing, is you take out all foods, start fresh. That's the point of gastric bypass, is to have the surgery. You know, I don't know anything about any other surgeries. People always ask me questions about the sleeve and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I don't know anything about those surgeries. What I do know, though, is that if I lost 240 pounds or plus pounds, gastric bypass did well for me. And even if you've lost 50 pounds, the whole duration, you didn't lose anything else, you still lost 50 pounds, you know you can do it. So you can do it if you put your mind to it. And that's the thing. It's all about willpower. It has nothing to do about anything else. The gastric bypass is a tool, sure. But if you don't find your willpower during the time, that short amount of time that you're restarting your diet, it's just like being a baby and starting fresh. When you're a baby, you start out on liquids, right? I mean, yeah. And then you move to soft foods, mush foods. And then you move to harder foods. That's the whole point of gastric bypass, is to start fresh, start over, new start. And you can make a new start for yourself anytime. You can make a new start for yourself every day. And that's what it is. You're lucky to wake up. I'm lucky to be having this conversation with you. I'll be lucky if in a month's time you're watching this video and I'm still here to make another video. You're lucky. That's why the present is called present. Today is a present. It's a gift. And it's a gift that we need to all take seriously. So, have I failed myself? No, but am I disappointing myself? Yeah. Nobody. Whether you're a child, an old person, about to die, you shouldn't eat a whole can of Pringles in 2 hours. I mean, come on. Like, come on, man. Why do I make these videos? Because I feel like videos like this one, I'm going to watch it later and I'm going to be talking to myself. So here, for a second, let me talk to myself. First and foremost, if you're still smoking, put the cigarette out. Second, you're not a failure. You're not a failure. You've made mistakes and it's time for you to move on. Things have happened in the past and you can't do anything about them. So it's time to move on. Learn from the past and move on. It's time for you to feel like you're a woman. You feel like you can do anything you want to do. You can, if you just set your mind to it. Remember what Grandma said before she died. That day, the day before she died, you went into the hospital room and she was sitting there. She was falling asleep on herself. They were feeding her too much medication. And you felt so bad. You felt so bad. But she kept saying how proud she was of you. And then as you were walking out of the room, you didn't want to wake her. And she said, Jessica. And you turn around. And you look back. And her eyes were still closed. But she said very clear as day, the clearest thing she had said the entire time you were there. You were about to walk out of the room and she tells you, I'm so proud of you. Anything you set your mind to, you can do. I'm so proud of you. So, you know what? I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you. Losing 1 pound is an accomplishment. It takes willpower to lose 1 pound. It takes willpower to lose 2 pounds. It takes willpower to lose 50 pounds. And if you can lose 1 pound, then you know that you still have willpower left inside of you. And that is for everybody. If you're watching this video, I hate smoking. If you're watching this video, you must know that you're not a failure. And you still have willpower in you because you're alive. And you're watching this video because you're upset at yourself or you're upset at a loved one and you want to do better for them or for yourself. Now's the time to make a change. You can do it. That's my wow moment. I mean, wow. Wow. Alright, so you ate too many Pringles. Alright, so you're eating too many sweets. You should really only have 1 or 2 Skittles if your sugar's low, and that should be it. Not 5 or 6, not a handful. It's time to move forward. So I want you guys to know that I'm not done. I'm getting my back fixed. In a few weeks, I should be getting a shot that's supposed to fix it. I don't know. But I have enough willpower into me to make it work. To make it better. And it's gotten a little better. And it keeps getting a little better. And it's going to get great. And it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. I will succeed this. And I'm not done. And I'm not picture perfect. And hell yeah, I make some mistakes. So doesn't everybody. But I am responsible for my own mistakes. So I'm going to take responsibility for the mistakes that I've made today, yesterday, the day before that, every day. And I am not going to let other people get to me. And even though people can embarrass the shit out of me and really make me feel bad about myself, I'm me, and I'm doing the best that I can. Because I realize the mistakes that I've made, and I'm going to make them right, regardless of what anybody else thinks of me. Whether you think I'm committed, whether you think that I'm a good person or not, I can only do the best that I can do. And even when you're making your mistakes, you're doing the best that you can because you realize that it was a mistake, right? So you're not a failure. If anything, you're loaded with success. Power is inside of willpower. And if you have the will to do anything, when you wake up in the morning, you have the will to live. So you have the will to do anything. So that's all that it's about. Success is about the steps that you take within your willpower limits. And you do what you can to succeed. And succeeding means that you have success. And you're successful. So with that being said, okay, I'm sorry that this is like all over the place. But like I said, you guys are my diary. This is my diary. So if it only makes sense to me, then it only makes sense to me. But I just want you guys to know that I did have a wow moment. And I'm not a failure. But I've made mistakes, and I still have a lot of weight to lose, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to be able to run and play, and I'm going to be able to have kids. I'm going to be able to do that, and I'm going to succeed at work, and I'm going to do the best that I can, and whether my best is not the best within your idea of the best, it is within mine. And even if things don't work out one way or another within my relationships with friends, even though some people may think I am a terrible friend, I know that I'm doing my best. And even though I post these YouTube videos and I tell people all the time that I am doing the best that I can to make sure my YouTube video. The thing flipped out and I lost what I was thinking about. I'm doing the best that I can, and if I've made mistakes, I'm going to fix them. And I want other people watching these videos to know that I am not perfect, and you are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. The only person that's perfect is God. And if He believes, then I believe. And you should believe too. You may be 10 years post-op gastric bypass or weight loss surgery. And you're right back to where you were pre-op. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. If anything, you've had 2 times to see what it's like to be your weight. And you're watching this video because you know that you've made some mistakes. But mistakes do not make you a failure. It makes you know that if you know that it's a mistake, then you can fix it. And now is the time to fix it. So put yourself on the diet that you had when you had gastric bypass and stick to it. And if you can't stick to it, rewatch this video. You're watching this video. If this video makes you see that you want to start on this diet, you're going to do it. Damn it, I'm ready to do it. I'm going to get back down to the right weight. I can do it. And you find yourself slipping, watch this video again because it'll give you the willpower to do it again. If it does give you the willpower now, then it'll do it again. Do it. Now is the time to succeed. Now is the time to progress. This is it, man. This is it. I'm going back on my diet. Starting now. No more Pringles. Hi, Meaty. And I have got support. You got to think about what you want in the future. And if what you want for your future means more to you than eating that bag of Pringles or eating that candy or going to your favorite restaurant and getting all that fried food, if that goal means more to you than that bag of food, you know what? Hold that thought for a second. I don't know if I can get up. Ow! 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 Alright, Meaty. If you have a goal in mind, get the hell away from me, I'm busy. Get your head out of my crotch. Go lay down. Go lay down, stinky butt. Get up here. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. All the way down. No, all the way down. Alright, like I was saying. Alright, bye. There is no... Think about the goal that you want. What is that goal? Say it out loud. What is that goal? Say it. What is your goal? I want to have a child. I have had a miscarriage, and that was horrific. I want to succeed, and I want to have a baby. What is the goal? I want to be able to run with my child. I want my kid to get away from the television. No games. No game system. Playing with your dad, playing video games, great and dandy. Let's go outside. Let's play. I want to play, right? I want to play with my kids. I want to do the right thing. I want my kids to be healthy. I don't want my kids to ever get fat like I was. Like I still am. I'm still fat. I'm still what they consider to be obese. I'm ready to get out of this. I'm ready to get better. There is no potato chip. There is no can of Pringles that tastes as good as this tastes. There is no ice cream. There's no Snickers bar that tastes as good as this tastes. Nothing. These used to be so tight I couldn't buckle them. There's nothing that tastes better than to be able to do that. I can't even sit that down there. There is nothing. Nothing. There's nothing on this planet that tastes as good as being able to take those, put them on, and let them off my body. Nothing. Think about that. Nothing tastes as good as that does. Nothing. If you feel like you're a failure, think about how good it felt to be able to fit in the smallest pair of pants you fit into. Like I can remember putting on a size 8 and thinking, oh my God. Oh my God. Or when I'm driving down the road and a car full of teenagers slows down and smiles and whistles, and I know that they're not mocking me. Because I can think back to when I was over 400 pounds and I was driving down the road and there was a car full of kids that drove by, slowed down to bark at me. Nobody deserves that. Or when I was so hurt because I had sprained my ankle and I went to Walmart and my friend kept telling me, just use the cart, you're hurt. And I hopped around with a set of crutches the entire way around, out of breath, around Walmart, instead of using the buggy that they have there to drive around, simply because I knew that I would get stares and they would all think that I was in there because I was too fat to walk. Or think about the time that I made that video for Biggest Loser, and I cried and cried and cried because I would have done anything to have them help me. Not one person on that game show could have beat me. None. I would have kicked, bit. I would have done anything to lose all that weight and had nothing to do with the money. It could have been moneyless, and I would have done it, and I would have fought my ass off to lose all of that weight. But they didn't pick me. I would have done anything to be where I am right now. And I'm messing that up. I'm making choices. I'm failing myself. That is my wow moment. And it can be your wow moment too. If you feel for a second that you have failed, you have not. You've come so far. Regardless if you only gained 10 pounds or you gained 100 of it back. Regardless, you have come so far. You have been through so much. And you can do it again. You've done it once, you can do it again. You can do it again. And when I think to myself, that pants right there, that meaty is next. How good it feels to look at those pair of pants and know that they still fall off of me. And then I try to put on my size 8 jeans and I can't get them over my thigh. I have not failed myself. Not yet. I have not given up. I have not given up. And you don't have to give up either. You're not a failure. You're a success story. Like I said, whether you gain the weight back, whether you've not gained any weight back, whether you've lost it all and gained it all, or lost it all and gained it all 3 times, you're a success story. Because you realize what you've done and what you're doing is wrong, and it's time to fix it. I want a child. I want my own baby where my chromosomes go through their blood. My blood is their blood. I want a child that I can raise to be an amazing person. One that will have so much knowledge and I have all the street smarts in the world. So I want my child's teacher to teach them everything they can that's book-wise And I'll teach my child everything I can that I've learned throughout the years that nobody ever taught me. I want a child. I want a baby to call my own. I want to walk around pregnant and people don't think that, I'm pregnant with triples and, like when I was pregnant the last time, they thought I was like 9 months. And I lost it after 2. And I think to myself, everything happens for a reason, but I also think to myself that my child would be like, my child would have just turned 8 years old. But everything happens for a reason. And the way that I see it is the baby probably wouldn't have been healthy, right? I wasn't ready to be a mom. I couldn't provide my child with what it needed. But now I can. Now I can. And now I have an amazing home that the child would feel so... This house is filled with so much love. And they would have an amazing father. So I'm not a failure. I'm only just beginning. And I'm going to document the future for me, for you guys, and for my child to see. So with that being said, I've ran you guys a whole hour. I can't believe this is an hour-long video, but I want you guys to know my wow moment was taken pretty seriously today. And I'm ready to move forward. And I don't want you guys to think that I am the perfect person to follow every move I make, because I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. But I do realize my mistakes and I'm moving forward with them. Nobody's perfect. And you're only successful if you realize your mistakes. Whether you choose to fix them or not, you're still successful. And I have chosen to turn what I'm doing here around. It's time to get back on the bandwagon. Whether I can run or not because of my back issues, I can still watch what I'm eating, and I'm going to do that from now on. And I'm going to document it for you guys. I want to show you guys the weight loss. I want to show you guys if I can get pregnant. I will bring you to my appointment. We'll learn it together. I love you guys. You know I do. And I don't know where I'll be without you guys, I'm sorry this is all over the place. It was so eye-opening. So eye-opening, you have no idea. Well, apparently you do if you watch this whole video. I gotta be up at 6 o'clock in the morning and can't see anything without my glasses on. I can't even see the clock here on the computer. Oh man, it's after midnight. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye.